You're listening to Foundations, where complex themes shaping property and sustainability are simplified. These are the grassroots conversations the industry needs to hear and understand. I'm your host, Amanda Paul from Brand Injection. Let's dive into today's discussion. So, my grandma is 102 years old. Sure, her body's letting her down, and while she still recognises us, she often doesn't know what she did that day. Her secret to a long life, I reckon, is her inquisitive, cheeky, and spirited nature. She's always been fiercely independent and only moved into living in aged care only about 5 years ago in her late 90s. She doesn't want to do the sing-along. She doesn't want to play bingo. She's very resilient and ready to challenge the ordinary, even in places nobody expects. My grandma is the mother of two baby boomers, my mum and my aunt. It's a generation that represents approximately 21.5% of the total Australian population, making them the largest generational group alongside millennials. Aged between 60 and 78 years old, they're mostly retired, young enough to be adventurous, still enjoy their hobbies, and love a good laugh with friends. They're still enjoying their later years, but edging towards needing an extra helping hand and considering their aged care options. Do they renovate and stay at home for as long as they possibly can? Or do they buy off the plan and move into a new home in a retirement village where the community and connection with others is all there? Or do they need to move straight into somewhere with higher care? They're put off, though, by drab conclusions, impractical floor plans, and fixtures and fittings that shout, gee, you're really getting on now. So, how do we still future-proof homes and aged care facilities, but still preserve dignity in design and functionality? How do we design for the Led Zeppelin generation? Today I'm speaking with Clint Field, the National Sales and Marketing Manager for Nero Tapware. Clint brings over 20 years of experience in marketing and management with a passion for design, quality, and innovation in the built environment. Hi, Clint. How are you going?
Very good. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to share what we're doing in this space.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm really passionate about this topic. Clint's goal is to spotlight the Nero brand and mission to provide Australian households with stunning, high-quality and affordable tapware for bathrooms, kitchens and laundries to create remarkable experiences through continuous innovation and better practices. Today, we'll explore how aged care design is evolving to meet the needs of this ageing population, like products and design features that empower and encourage independence as we age, embed a sense of community, and honour every individual's story at the same time. We'll also chat about how technology, sustainability, and thoughtful design can create spaces that feel less institutionalised and more like places where people want to call home, no matter what their stage of life is. So, with that said, let's get started. So, Clint, could you share with us, please, the story behind Nero Tapware and its commitment to aged care design?
Sure. Nero Tapware is a proud family-owned Australian brand. We've built our reputation on premium quality, innovative design, and keeping the end user at the heart of everything we do. Our aged care range, which is called Mecca Care, was developed in partnership with Avail Designs to meet AS 1428.1 accessibility standards. But for us, it's never been just about ticking the compliance boxes. It's about creating products that enable independence, preserve dignity, and look every bit as beautiful as they are functional.
Yeah, I love your range. I picked up a brochure the other day and it's just gorgeous. And so how do you see the role of tapware and bathroom fixtures evolving in the context of aged care and inclusive design?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think over the years, the role of tapware and bathroom fixtures in aged care has really evolved. They're no longer purely functional. These are daily touch points, so they need to work effortlessly for everyone. Whether you have full mobility or limited strength and dexterity, we see them as central to helping people age in place with comfort and style.
Awesome. Great. And so many associate aged care with boring clinical institutional spaces. How does Nero Tapware challenge these stereotypes through design and material choices?
Yeah, it's one thing we hear all the time is that aged care design is cold or clinical. We just don't believe it has to be that way. Mecca Care was designed to change that perception, offering modern architectural lines and finishes like matte black, brushed gold and gunmetal. So yes, you have a grab rail that's compliant and robust, but also genuinely beautiful. The designer of this range, Dave Sayers, who is the owner of Avail Designs, he set out about designing this range on the back of the fact that he could not find anything outside of the clinical offering in the market to suit the needs and requirements of his aging family, or aging parents, sorry.
Oh, okay. Right. And were they still in their own home or were they moving into aged care?
Yeah, they were still in their own home, and that's what made the challenge all the more difficult, because all that was available at that time was that clinical or cold, as we call it, grabware offerings in the market. So therefore, he had to design something. He happened to be a designer at the same time, so one obviously had a beneficial fit for the other. But I think what's also really good and what's happening in the current environment is the National Construction Code changes that have come into effect across the country, which has a requirement for fit off of aged care or grab rail products in residential homes. So from the 1st of May 2025, it was a requirement that the provision in the back of the wall was provided as part of the build specification. The grab rails don't need to be fitted off as part of the actual overall build itself, but the provision need to be in the back of the wall to future-proof that home for the time when it comes that those additional fixtures and fittings are required to go about the day-to-day life.
Right. Okay. And so, what are some of the misconceptions that you encounter about fixtures in aged care environments, and how does Nero address those?
Yeah, there's also a big misconception that accessibility means sacrificing durability or style.
Yeah.
It's simply not true. Our grab rails, for example, are load tested up to 150 kilos, the requirement being 120 kilos. So we've certainly over engineered those as well. They're built to last and meet strict compliance standards while still looking like a premium design choice. So think integrity and dignity, and this is the core of the Mecca Care design. An example I quite often use when talking about this range is, when the grandkids come over and they walk into the bathroom and they see a four-legged chair sitting in the shower, and obviously that's a bit of an interesting thing for them to see. That's not something that they're used to seeing or have ever seen, and therefore they come in and say, "Oh, Nan, why have you got a chair in your shower?"
Yeah.
So we've designed as part of the Mecca Care range, we've designed a chair that plays the same role, but actually folds up against the wall. So therefore, that dignity or that integrity doesn't need to be questioned, albeit in this example that I used is such an honest comment from a grandchild. But again, it does have both physical and mental impacts on the grandparent themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I know I've had the same with my daughter when she goes to visit my grandma in the aged care facility. And, I wonder how grandma even gets around in there because it's just cluttered with so many devices and things. I actually first saw you speak at the Sustainability Summit by Architecture and Design last year on a panel. And one thing that really stood out to me, a key takeaway, was when you mentioned that your toilet roll holder had quite a high weight range. It was the same as the towel rail. Can you just explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so all the touch points in the Mecca Care range have 150 kilo weight bearing. So it means if it's the shower, if we talk residential, if it's the shower shelf in the shower, if it's the T-bar shower, if it's the grab rail, if it's the toilet roll holder, if it's the robe hook, all of those components have 150 kilo weight bearing compliance against them. So it means that every component is therefore acting as an accessible fixture in order for the end user to get around that space. But at the same time, they look like, and they are there to serve a greater purpose outside of that, which is the functionality of the bathroom space itself.
Yeah, fantastic. And look, sustainability is a buzzword for many, but what does it look like in practice at Nero Tapware? Could you walk us through some of the key sustainability initiatives?
Yeah, I can. And it's obviously a question we get asked pretty much on a daily basis. And look, we're very, very focused on ensuring that we do what we can to reduce our carbon footprint. In this case, sustainability is a huge focus for us. It's not just a buzzword. We've built it into all our processes, whether it's recycled water, recycled materials, recycled packaging, better water efficient designs, durable materials like DZR brass as an example, as it is the most high quality brass that you can manufacture with. Therefore, the product's going to last longer, therefore, contributing to the sustainability piece. And also talking about long lasting, our PVD finishes, PVD meaning physical vapor disposition, but ultimately what that means is that the finish on the product is going to last a whole lot longer than other processes that are used to coat the tapware or accessory or fixture products. So therefore, it's again reducing waste, and we're designing products primarily that are produced to last decades, not just years.
Awesome. I love that whole concept. And look, how do you balance the need for durability and long-lasting products with the demand for style and innovation and, keeping that dignity?
Yeah, it absolutely is. It is challenging. I think where we've got a benefit within the setup of our business, being a family-owned business, is that not only do we own the operating business here in Australia, but we also own the manufacturing facility in China as well. That's managed by the family also. So therefore, we're controlling every component of the process. So balancing that durability with style is something that we take very seriously. Everything is precision engineered and vigorously tested, and we can control that testing process as well. And then we add finishes and forms that feel current and fresh. So that's how we ensure a product performs day in, day out and still looks great 10 years down the track.
Fantastic. And are your products sort of manufactured and tested in Australia?
No, they are manufactured and tested in China. Every component is, every piece is. But they all adhere to the Australian requirements, whether that's the WELS rating or watermark requirements. Every piece is tested in relation to that aspect of the requirements to sell in the Australian market.
Perfect. And look, you've already touched on this, but are there any other specific design features that make your products more user-friendly for older Australians?
Yeah, definitely. For older Australians or anyone with limited mobility, little design decisions make a massive difference for the end user. So we use extended lever handles, easy to grip shapes, and modular grab rails that can be configured to suit the space. Mixers are intuitive to use, so you don't need a lot of strength or dexterity to operate them. We've just extended the range as well to incorporate a make your own grab rail range. So we're now selling the fixtures separately. So you can, as an example, we recently worked with an architect to design a wraparound grab rail for a complete bath / over the shower solution. So yeah, that new range will certainly help suit any design style, shape or mode required to ensure that the end user gets the best quality flexibility out of the product and the experience.
Fantastic. Oh, that sounds amazing. As we get older, mental health plays a big part in our everyday life. And I was just wondering, could you give us any examples of how your range might support both positive mental health, independence, and safety in aged care?
Yeah, absolutely. I referred to one earlier, which is, the questioning around why Nan's bathroom looks different. So that's one aspect. But again, it's about providing that confidence and mental well-being. So when you can move around your bathroom easily, when the space feels warm and inviting, and it has a real impact on your independence and your sense of dignity. So the range has been designed that when you walk into that bathroom space, it actually looks like a normal bathroom fit out. The double towel rail, as an example, just looks like a double towel rail, but actually acts as a grab rail with its 150 kilo weight bearing capacity. So it is all about looking in there, visualizing it, and getting the feel that, my bathroom doesn't look any different to anybody else's. It just functions a little bit differently to meet my requirements.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And Nero Tapware, if you haven't been to the website and seen Nero Tapware products, you're known for your stylish finishes and designer-friendly color palette. Why is color choice important in aged care, and how do you ensure your products don't feel institutionalized?
Yeah, look, colour choices are critical. It's what we've grown our business on, is our actual colour palette itself, and we've carried that through to the Mecca Care range as well. So there's 6 different colour finishes ranging from chrome, matte black, brushed nickel, brushed gold, gunmetal and brushed bronze. So they're the 6 different colour finishes, which therefore means that you can choose any type of design palette, flat lay, colour choice that you wish to have in your own home to either match your bathroom design requirements or match your overall home with the flow into the both the kitchen and bathroom, kitchen and laundry spaces as well.
Yeah.
That helps create a space that feels more welcoming rather than institutional.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you work with architects and designers to ensure your fixtures complement both the practical and aesthetic needs of a project for the resident?
Yeah, it's been something that we've worked on very closely with architects and designers from the very beginning of the conception of this range. We provide detailed specifications, bin files, and product samples so that integrate our products with confidence. I mentioned earlier around the recent example where we worked with Hammond Care to provide a design that would suit the bathroom setup and the wraparound requirements in the around the bathtub space as a very clear example of this as well. The aim is always to hit the sweet spot where compliance, practicality, and aesthetics all work together.
Yeah, for sure. So, are there any emerging trends or technologies in tapware or design that you're really excited about?
Yeah, people think, oh, how can you get excited about it? But you can, because in the end, you're providing an option for those that have provided to our community for a long period of time, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. But we're certainly looking ahead. We're really excited about trends like the modular and adaptable bathroom systems. It's available to view on our website should you require further information, and the advances in PVD technology. So I did mention our manufacturing facility earlier. In the last 6 months, we've also introduced a coatings facility into our manufacturing space. We are one of the only tapware suppliers in this country that does their own PVD or electroplating in-house. That's a critical component for product quality because it means that we're not relying on a third party to outsource that component of the manufacturing process, and therefore we significantly reduce our risk of colour variation across the different components as well. And again, you've got, the PVD or physical vapor deposition, we'll say, and that's a finish that resists scratches and lasts for decades. It's all about speaking to the benefits that people actually care about.
So that leads in quite nicely to my next question. You've mentioned a few acronyms already so far. So technical details can be quite overwhelming to comprehend for buyers and sometimes even professionals in the industry. How do you simplify complex features and jargon when discussing or promoting products? And what concepts do you find people struggle with the most?
Yeah, we also try to keep things simple when we talk about our products. So because not everyone wants to hear the technical jargon. So instead of PVD or physical vapor disposition, we'll say a finish that resists scratches and lasts for decades.
Yeah.
It's all about speaking to the benefits people care about rather than the technical side of it that, from industry professionals, that's important. But when it comes to the end user, they just want to understand in simple terms what the benefits of installing this product are going to have on their longer term ability to utilize the space in question.
Yeah, and I guess it helps them think about, okay, how do I live? How would I use this product? It is about creating that vision of future proofing. I might not need it now, but oh, hang on. If it does that, I might need that later. If I trip, I might need to lean on that towel rail or whatever it might be. What advice would you give developers, architects, or builders who are considering creating more dignified, sustainable, and user-friendly spaces in aged care?
If I had one piece of advice for developers, architects, and builders, it would be start with dignity as your design goal. Choose fixtures that meet accessibility standards without feeling clinical, and think about how that space can actually adapt over time. So when I say that, it may well be, okay, consider the space and the Mecca Care range and the 300 odd products that form that collection, but not all of those components may be required now. So just consider in the future what other components may well be required that can be adapted to the design you're working on now.
Okay, great. And where do you see the future of aged care design heading, and what role do you see Nero Tapware playing in shaping that future?
I think the future of aged care design is certainly moving towards spaces that just feel like home, safe, stylish, empowering, and that's where we'll continue to play a role, innovating with our partners, leading in sustainability and delivering products that combine style, performance and inclusivity. And if I think about a majority of those wrapped up into one, I think that we will potentially move away from using that raw material, which I alluded to earlier, being DZR brass, into a different raw material being 316L stainless steel, which is a carbon neutral product to manufacture with, but also what other elements that's going to create in the aged care space is that's actually an indoor-outdoor product. So we can start to bring the indoor adaptation to the outdoor space by manufacturing all the Mecca Care range utilising 316L stainless steel, which means that our fresco areas, outdoor areas can have that same design aspect consideration that would flow from the inside to the outside.
Wow, great. And so for those people looking at renovating their current home, or perhaps they're looking at inclusions when they're buying off the plan for a new property, what are, I guess, 3 things to consider when they're renovating their bathroom to future-proof for aging?
Yeah, certainly a good question. So you want to determine the rail position, number one. So, where are those touch points going to be in your bathroom design that, from a practicality of use perspective. So quite practical to potentially just, maneuver yourself around the blank space initially and just understand where those touch points are going to be required. You may not require all the rail fit off initially, but certainly something that will ensure it's future proofed. Definitely then consider colour and what sort of colour finish you want to go for, because some colours do tend to be on trend now and can be easily updated. It is why a lot of people will tend to lean towards a chrome or a brushed nickel still, because they are very adaptable and very versatile to change as well. And the third component, which I think something that we all tend to lose sight of at times, is the fact that, we use our shower on a daily basis, most of us twice a day. We do have varying shower options across the range, everything from your standard out-of-wall shower, your ceiling shower, your rail shower, which can also come with a hand shower option for flexibility. And then finally, if you want a combination of both, we're the only suppliers on the market that have got a fully adaptable and DDA compliant twin shower as well. So you can have both options from your overhead shower and then diverting it to your hand shower, or have both of them on at the same time, should you wish.
Yep.
So they're the 3 areas that I would recommend considering at the initial design stage.
Okay, fantastic. And so what are some of the new products in the Mecca Care range that have come out recently?
Yeah, really good questions. What's important to note with the Mecca Care range is the fact that if it's in a residential environment, so if you're looking to future-proof the home and you don't have a requirement for an extended lever for your tapware, then you can actually use any of our 10 different collections, because they do come in the same colour palette as the Mecca Care range. So whether it's a pin lever, whether it's a paddle range, whether it's a Heritage Hampton style, depending on the style that you like, you can use any of our finishes in a non-DDA environment. New products that have come out in the market, we have launched an extended pin lever in our Bianca range, extended lever, in our Bianca range. So therefore, we've now got the pin lever or the paddle lever as your extended options.
And this is on the vanity you're talking about?
This is for the vanity, for your basin mixer, that's correct. What else have we brought? We've brought out curtain rails as well to complement that same colour finish and complement the design throughout. We've also introduced the pull-down grab rails for DDA spaces made out of DZR brass again, in 6 different colour finishes. I mentioned the do-it-yourself range of product that's also been introduced as well. And I mentioned the twin shower as well. That's a new introduction to the range since we initially launched as well. Looking into the future, we do have about 12 to 15 other products we're looking to introduce into that space They're not 100% guaranteed now, so I won't talk about those now, but certainly watch this space for future ranges. Nero want to be known as the leader in both design and functionality around that aged care assisted living space. So we do have a very strong strategic intent to be the market leader in this space now and into the future.
Well, I think you're well on your way. Some of these things are blowing my mind that I've been hearing about. So it sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
And I guess finally, if anyone wants to find out more about the Nero Tapware range, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Certainly if you want to find out more, head to our website. It is our best place for information, sourcing. Everything's on their specification files, BIM content files, if those are required. Our catalogues, our brochures, white papers, case studies, everything you need to know from a research perspective is definitely there. All the ranges are easy to find on the website. It's an easy to navigate website, we think, but happy for any feedback that we can use to always improve that as well. And then there's an option on there to reach out to us as well. And we always respond to all of those emails that come through to our website feedback inbox, whether it's myself responding to those specifically or my team responding to those as well. That includes the requirement for, you might want a one-on-one meeting to discuss further, or you might want some samples for a specification opportunity. All those things are optional through that avenue.
Great. Well, I, for one, can easily say it is very user-friendly. I've had a bit of a click through there, and it's a beautiful website. Could you just give us the URL, please?
I can. It's www.nerotapware.com.au.
Perfect. Well, look, thank you so much, Clint, for your time and for sharing all about Nero Tapware and the innovations that you're developing to help keep the dignity in aged care design. I'm really excited to see everything come to fruition in the future. And thank you for your time.
No worries, Amanda. Appreciate it. And appreciate everyone's time for listening today.
No worries.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Foundations, a series that breaks down complex property and sustainability themes. I'm Amanda Paul, a specialised property copywriter who helps developers, suppliers and sustainability advocates create messaging that resonates and drives results. So if you're ready to be understood, remembered and chosen by your ideal buyer, let's talk.